Women. Jewish men, they had a very low opinion of women, which was very sad. That is not God's design. Genesis 2:24, talking about marriage. Jesus quotes this in the Gospels. It says, "For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother, be joined to his wife, and they shall become," what? One flesh. It's an equal. Marriage is an equal. It's a partnership. It's one flesh. Like you wouldn't just care for half of your body. Like, I'm not just gonna make sure that the top half of my body is clean and I use soap, and the bottom half of my body never touches water for 10 years. No, I'm gonna care for my entire body. It wouldn't make sense to care for only part of myself. Who plays Mario Kart? Raise your hands.
I love Mario Kart.
Are you good at Mario Kart?
Michael, am I good at Mario Kart?
No.
Okay, well, passable. Blaine, are you good at Mario Kart? Are you better than, who's better, you or your brother? Okay, it's not this head, it's legit. Still getting there. So who's good at Mario Kart? Who thinks that they're good at Mario Kart? Mark is very good. If you can beat Mark, you're good. We'll do Mario Kart Day sometime in the winter time here. But think about it. Like Mario Kart, it's a simple game, but it uses both your hands, right? Right hand, you got the gas, you got the brake, the drift, the jump. Left hand, you steer, and you got the items. You can play Mario Kart with only half of your body. The right hand, maybe. If you want to make it harder for yourself, sure, play with one hand. If you want to lose every race you play against the easy computer, sure, play Mario Kart with one hand. Go ahead. You don't need to do that. If you don't, marriage is equal. It's a partnership. It's one flesh. It's not a better or a worse. Mark, you can attest to this too. It's like strengths and weaknesses. It's definitely a partnership, marriage. But Jewish men, they looked down on Jewish women, and they looked down on Samaritans. So someone had asked, what happens if you combine a middle schooler? What happens if you combine a woman and a Samaritan together? And I said, that's a great question. Go in your Bible to John chapter 4. And that's where we went. Oh, there's Mario Kart. You can tell I put this together today. All right, in John 4, in 4-7, it says, this is talking about Jesus. Now he had gone through Samaria. So Jesus came to a town called Sychar near a plot of ground. Jacob, an old dude from the Old Testament, had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there. And Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about noon. When a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" The disciples had gone in town to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew. I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. And Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him for the drink, and he would have given you living water." So Jesus is at a well. It's lunchtime, it's noon. The disciples, they're hungry. Jesus is probably hungry, so they're in town to buy food. And here, there's a Samaritan woman getting water. Now, why does it matter? It's at noon. Does anyone know? Just him and the woman at the well. How come there are no other women at the well? Okay, so it's the middle of the day. Yeah, and it's hot. Why wouldn't this woman maybe get water in the morning when it wasn't hot out? Anyone want to help her out?
Because people didn't like her.
People didn't like her. That's right. So later in the chapter, talking with Jesus, you find out this woman, she was married, and then she had another husband, and then she had a third husband, and then she had a fourth husband, and then she had a fifth husband. And now she's living with another guy. I know, right? She's living with another dude, so she's going from man to man to man to man to man to another man now. People probably didn't like her all that much. Like all the women, they would go early in the morning, cool of the day. You know, they got a big thing of water, getting water. They can wash their hands and feet for the day. They want to do it while it's cool, not when it's super hot out. Probably friends, they're all talking. But this woman, you know, no woman wants to be her friend. She's the woman bouncing around from man to man to man. So her own community, her own neighbors, on top of her being a Samaritan woman, her own community and neighbors are looking down on her. They want nothing to do with her. Maybe they bully her. Maybe they talk about her behind her back, to her face. Maybe they glare at her. Maybe they shun her. She's just a rejected person by the community. And that's who Jesus is talking to. Eventually the disciples come and they say, just then his disciples returned and were surprised to find him talking with a woman, because that wasn't the cultural norm. Men and women didn't really talk to each other. But no one wanted to ask, what do you want, or why are you talking with her? So even the disciples, again, just to show the times, didn't really talk to women. They thought it was weird. Like, Jesus, what are you doing talking to this woman? And it's the middle of the day. You two are by yourselves. Food's getting cold. Jesus, can you wrap up the conversation? But just before this is so cool. Just before this, the woman talking to Jesus, they talked about her husband's situation. The woman said, I know the Messiah called Christ is coming. For when he comes, he will explain everything to us. Then Jesus declared, I, the one speaking to you, I am he. And you know what's really cool about this is that this woman, the Samaritan woman, rejected by community, neighbors, friends, everyone else, this is the very first person to hear from Jesus that he is the Messiah. She had the privilege of being the very first person to find out from Jesus himself that he is the Messiah who had been prophesied to come to save the world. So in a culture where women are looked down upon, even treated like property, sometimes Jesus challenges the social norms. Jesus sees and values every person individually, regardless of their gender, regardless of their race, regardless of how many friends that person has. Jesus says, I see you, I want to include you, I care about you, I love you. So when we're called to follow the example of Jesus, this is the example that Jesus sets. Now who is running water in their house? Hopefully all of you have running, this is America, right? This is Western PA. We all have running water in our house. We don't have to go to the well. We don't have to go with a bucket. We don't have to go with a bowl if we want to wash our hands or something like that. We just have running water. Most of you, go to a public school or a private school or something like that, there are water fountains. So I encourage you, as you're passing through, you see people who, they're kind of like that weird person. That person no one really talks to. That person no one really likes to be around. Talk to them. Ask, how's your day going? How was your most recent class? Don't say it like that. You're going to sound like a 25-year-old man. Use it with the younger Gen Z slang, but just talk to this person. Put your hand out and try to become their friend. That's the example that Jesus sets. It's not about their gender. It's not about their race. It's not about the number of friends they have. It's not about their money, anything like that. Zoom. Oh, here we go. Men, you're also called to treat women with dignity and respect. Women, you are worthy of dignity and respect. Don't ever think otherwise.